Welcome to the Gaston County Tax Office Citizens Academy. This is the first installment in a series of educational videos created to help citizens better understand certain aspects of local property tax procedures. We're excited to spend the next few minutes reviewing the different parts of the annual tax notice.
Property located in Gaston County is eligible for taxation. Property falls into one of two major categories, either real or personal. Real property includes land, buildings, and any permanently attached fixtures. Personal property is subdivided into personal property for private use and personal property for business use. Personal property and business personal property includes, but is not limited to, any unregistered vehicles, tagged or untagged trailers, most mobile homes, aircrafts, watercrafts, machinery, office equipment, and farm equipment.
If you own any of these types of property in Gaston County, you should expect to receive a tax notice each year. The notice simply describes the four major components of each piece of property. It speaks to the ownership, the assessed value, also known as the tax value, the corresponding tax rate based on location, and the total amount of taxes owed for that specific property. Displayed on the screen is the familiar template used each year for the Gaston County tax notice. Right away, you can see the notice is divided into three major sections. The top section answers the question, who owns the property? Here you will see the ownership as listed in the tax database. The middle section states the tax value of the property and includes the current tax rates. And the bottom section is a summary of the total amount of taxes due for a specific property.
Let's take a closer look. As we discuss each of the blank sections in greater detail, the information for a Gaston County property will appear, and by the end of the session, we will have a completed notice. In the top section of the statement, you will see the taxing jurisdiction that has issued the bill. Of course, this section should state Gaston County, followed by the year for which the tax statement has been issued, printed in red. If the tax statement has been issued for real property, remember house or land, then this reference will state the recorded document that transferred the parcel into your ownership. Property owners, as listed in the tax database, will be displayed here. We have space for 2 lines only, so properties with 3 or more owners will see a maximum of 2 names printed on the paper statement. This is a random selection, which means we do not and cannot choose which of the owner names to print. Full ownership information is available at all times by accessing the parcel on the public GIS website or viewing the parcel property details by using the search feature from the Gaston County Tax Office homepage.
For real property tax notices, you will also see printed below the current owner and their mailing address a reference to the listed owner as of January 1st. The date on which the assessed value of the property was applied. To finish out the top section of the tax statement, we need to look within the printed box. Here, you will find a QR code that can be used to open the online payment site. Credit card payments are accepted but do incur an additional convenience fee for the service. This convenience fee is collected by the service provider and not by the Gaston County Tax Office. Printed below the QR code is the option to receive future notices electronically. If you, as the property owner, would prefer to receive digital statements, then please visit gaston.nctaxstatements.com and enter the registration ID to enroll.
We will now look at the collection of boxes that is Section 2 of the tax statement. Here you will see the tax value and the tax rates for each property located in Gaston County. The first 3 boxes state the date on which the statement was issued, the date on which payment is officially due, and the date on which interest begins accruing on unpaid balances. To allow for the orderly taxation of all eligible property in the county, the tax office assigns a series of unique identification numbers to recognize each property type. For real property, remember house and land. A 6-digit number is assigned to a single parcel of land and all the buildings or improvements attached to it. For personal property, property owners are required by statute to list all taxable personal property with the tax office in January of each year. The owner's entire group of assets is written on a listing form. Each listing form is assigned its very own number. The same is required for business owners. They should list all of their business personal property items on a business personal property listing form. The tax office then assigns a single identification number to the entire list. Please notice the box highlighted in yellow entitled Property Key. Here you will see the unique number that has been assigned to your property. A brief description of each property is listed on the notice. Real property is described here, and personal property here. The Gaston County Tax Office reviews each property to determine the fair and equitable tax value. That figure is printed in the property value box. For property owners that have applied for and have met the qualifications to participate in one of the exemption or exclusion programs, that information will be listed in the upper exclusion box. Additional information about the various programs is provided on the back of the tax notice. For properties that have been approved for one of the deferment, exemption, or exclusion programs, those deductions will be listed in one of those three boxes. The amount listed in each box is subtracted from the property value box to result in the final net taxable value of your property. We have now answered the questions: what is the value of my property? Determined by the tax office. Only one more question to go in this section. What are the current tax rates?
The county is divided into various districts that have been assigned a unique code based on location. The box titled Tax District shows the specific code that corresponds to the location of your property. Gaston County Tax Office publishes the list of all tax district codes and assigned tax rates each year. A copy of the chart can be obtained from the Gaston County Tax Office website or by visiting either of the tax office locations. Using the specified tax rate, we can now complete the calculation to determine the amount of taxes owed. In the final box titled Charge Description, Tax Rate per $100, and Amount, you will see the itemized breakdown of the county tax rate, various municipal taxing district rates, special taxing district rates, late list fees, discovery fees, and even prepayment amounts specific to your property. When added together, the result is the total tax amount, which is highlighted in the third section of the tax notice, also called the remittance slip or payment coupon. For taxpayers that prefer to mail in their payment or leave their payment in one of the available drop boxes, please remember to tear off and include the remittance slip with your check or money order to ensure proper credit. Drop boxes are located at 128 West Main Avenue in Gastonia and at 100 East Garrison Boulevard in Gastonia. The remittance slip also provides a place to list any corrections or updates to your mailing address. Remember, this is the location at which the property owner will receive future tax notices and tax-issued correspondence. The 7 boxes in the upper right corner summarize the details of previous sections of the tax notice and provide a place for you to write down the total amount of your payment. The remittance slip is printed with the mailing address for the Gaston County Tax Collector.
That brings us to the end of the front of the tax notice. But wait, there's more. Additional information has been printed on the back of the Gaston County tax notice. This information is grouped in 3 sections. The top section includes details about the accrual of interest on unpaid balances and the date on which interest begins, as well as the deadline for submitting an appeal of the tax values for real and personal property. The middle section highlights the tax relief and deferment programs offered to property owners. Due to the complex nature of the programs, active participants and other interested parties should call the tax office at 704-866-3158 and select option 2 or option 6 to obtain additional information. The bottom section lists the different methods available to taxpayers for making payments. Options for payments include in person, by mail, the drop boxes, online, and over the phone. If you need assistance or have questions concerning the tax notice, please feel free to reach out to the Gaston County Tax Office by calling 704-866-3158 and selecting option 1. We hope you have found the information in this video helpful. Please take a moment and test your new tax knowledge. Use the QR code to open the quiz below.